what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to like too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
agree to disagree.
And it's like,
Moving on.
well, make it bottle.
Not little.
It's like a cracked out T-bird, some grease.
Yeah.
You know, she's got that black hair.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to ChickChat here on The Mesh. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Jeanette, how's it going?
It's good. It's cold, but it's good.
Hey, good. I mean, it's been cold here for a while. It's cold here too, but I know you guys had a little hot streak there for a bit in
We have.
October hot streak.
I just turned my air conditioner off today because everyone in my house was complaining that it was cold. Like,
Ew.
yeah.
Yuck. Well, welcome to fall. Nice to have you.
Happy to be here.
Good. It is almost Thanksgiving, so we're glad you could join us. Well, good. As everyone should be enjoying that cooler weather right now. I hope I at least think so. It's so nice. Yeah, it's pretty chilly here. And are you done with your Christmas shopping? I know how you operate.
I normally would be. I haven't even started, but the presentation has been given. The presentation was given in October.
Geez, I know this.
So.
Okay, I was going to ask. All right. So the PowerPoint has been made and presented.
Mm-hmm.
Are there reasonable asks?
There are also some that are just like
not going to happen.
Okay. She also made one for her brother. They presented together. So
as a recap for those just now joining us, Jeanette's teenage daughter is famous for creating a presentation every year of her wish list for the holiday, and appears this year to have roped her brother, who, how old is Mason now?
He's 5.
Right. Likely not old enough to create his own, so therefore she's assisting. Okay, good. So you have your marching orders.
It's been texted to me. I have everything I need. So.
Oh goodness. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We just moved.
Okay.
Yeah, we came across a house, thought it was cool, ended up hearing I'll get to that in a minute, but basically we just moved. So now we've been using that line, well, you just got a new house, for like everything.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, obviously we'll do Christmas, but that's kind of been my go-to right now. I'm that parent right now. We just got you a new house. like we did it for them or something.
Right. Well, I'm trying to use, there's 2 upcoming trips for my daughter, early February or early December to St. Louis for soccer, and then early January to Florida for soccer. So those are flights, those are hotels, those are fun things. She's going to get things while she's there. And so I'm trying to use, but St. Louis, but Florida. But she's like, that's for soccer.
You're like, yeah, it is for soccer. But I mean,
if I didn't have to spend that money, yeah.
We're having to do that too, actually. We're going the week before Christmas to Vegas for basketball. Excuse me? The week before Christmas.
Who looks at these things and says, that's a good time?
I know. They're like, oh, well, the kids will be getting out of school. And I'm like, yeah, so that we could maybe finish up Christmas stuff then. Like, what in the world? Yeah. So we actually are all going, so that we are going to make it like part of your Christmas type stuff. Like we're, because there is going to be other things going on. And as good as I do, that those trips are not just the sports. You end up doing things. You go out as a team. You eat food out all the time. You end up shopping something, right? Even if it's just gear from the tournament or from the showcase or whatever it is. They come back with a hoodie or they come back with a pair of, new shorts and socks or whatever, right? I mean, it's stuff people always do that. And so I'm with you. I'm like, hey, you want to do these little extra things? Like, we don't have to go
Yeah.
to these tournaments, but we do. And these are all things that we pay. And it's tough, man. It's hard. Like parenting and then balancing and.
Well, in 3 weeks before Christmas, I'm like,
yeah,
not really. Like, I could get most of your Christmas, if not all of your Christmas, with what I'm going to be spending on going.
On flights.
Yeah, just on flights. Yeah.
Just on flights. It's crazy. Yeah, but we do what we do for a reason. Hopefully it'll pay off. I'm sure Ava is going to be some amazing soccer star, and I can't wait to watch her come play against the Thorns here in Portland one day and say, I knew you win.
I would love that, because then I'd be like, okay, it was a struggle, but we did it.
We did it.
Yes.
And then you can start making presentations for her.
Right. Here's my wish list. There's only a house or two and a car or two on here.
Here's my repay wish list. It's not even holiday wish list. It's my repayment wish list.
That's right. Remember all that money I spent on you?
I don't need the exact dollar amounts back in cash. I'll take it in goods and services. Thank you.
Right.
Well, that's exciting. Sounds like you've got some travel coming up, some holiday stuff. What have you been watching on TV in all your spare time?
Been watching Dancing with the Stars, a lot of game shows. So I'm like,
interesting.
I love The Floor.
Oh, yes.
Rob Lowe hosts The Floor. I love The Floor. I've actually got other people watching The Floor now.
Okay.
And I just like it because it's one of those games that you can play along to.
If you know their subject matter, right?
Yeah, even if I don't, I feel like I'm going to know these rocks.
Yeah,
and I know like two, the basic ones, right? I've also been watching 911. I watched a lot of Netflix things like Nobody Wants This and like those series that are out now.
I watched Nobody Wants This and really enjoyed it.
I did too. Glad they have a second season already coming out.
Me too. I'm a big Adam Brody fan. Always have been. And big Kristen Bell fan too. Yeah. But those two together, I thought really fit well.
Yeah.
And that was, there's sometimes I can't watch something or can't get into something because I just don't believe the chemistry. And I know people are acting, obviously, but you still want to believe it a little bit. And this one I could really get behind.
Yeah.
And so that makes it fun to watch.
Yeah.
But it was really good. It was really clever too. Did you watch any of the Menendez stuff?
I watched it all.
Okay, me too.
And sang Milli Vanilli for probably a month.
Oh my gosh. I love that my kids are now Milli Vanilli fans.
My daughter put a Monsters like playlist on my Spotify. She's like, I don't want it on mine, but I'm gonna put it on yours so we can listen to it in the car. I'm like, okay.
So my oldest daughter, who is now, in the college realm of things, is getting her acceptance letters in and things like that. She's really kind of digging deep into what she's going to be doing next year. She is very focused right now on going into law. Oh. And whatever it is she wants to end up in the criminal world of some sort. Mm-hmm. Started out with investigative stuff. She wanted maybe into forensics or anything criminal. Like she's just into that stuff. She loves the mystery. She loves the details. She loves the thinking through the steps and the process. She's super organized and methodical about organization and setting things up. And it really aids into her trying to think through and figure things out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's been like this for ages. And for years and years, she's always talked about going into some sort of criminal justice, something another. I want to work on crime scenes and all. So she's always watching murder porn, right? Like always watching it. Always trying to figure it out. Always trying to solve things. Has like those handful of cases and incidents, not even just cases, but like things that have happened that are clearly solved. Like some of the one, like, I mean, for example, the Menendez brothers. We know who did it. The case is solved. It's not a unsolved mystery, but she's enthralled by it, right? Not because of the pop culture side of it that has come about, but just the mental state of people and the process of the trial and all of that. She has always been kind of infatuated with. So she's really been into all the stuff that was coming back out about them recently and kind of the resurgence of them. And, you know, and she also thinks it's really crazy that like we were alive during this, when this happened. Like what you knew about this when this was happening and this, and like John Benet Ramsey, like that trial, she's like, wait, what do you remember, Mom? I'm like, well, I wasn't there, but like I read the People magazine about it when it happened, you know, all those things. And so she's just really into it. So it's been a big topic in the house. And and then of course on top of that, she loves like 80s culture of any sort. And so the Milli Vanilli music, boy, when that came out, she thought it was the coolest thing. It was, have you ever heard of this, Mom? Have you ever heard this? And I was like, oh, girl.
If you only knew.
let me introduce you to a few other things that go right along lines of this. I also introduced her to Nelson. Do you remember Nelson?
I do remember Nelson, the twins.
The twins, right?
The long blonde twins.
So
Ricky Nelson's boys.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, the Ricky Nelson connection was like a bit of a stretch for her because she was like, that's going a little too far back for me, Mom. But she also has a playlist and has some Milli Vanilli and has now added Nelson on there. So, you know, it's fun.
Well-rounded.
Yeah. But she will send me texts of random Menendez facts that she finds out.
It's the new octopus.
It is. Okay. I love it because they're kind of, she only sends like kind of silly ones, you know, on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like she sent me a text the other day that says, Eric Menendez has played Secret Santa for his roommates in prison for several years.
Okay. Where is he getting? What are they getting?
Well, and you know, and I'm assuming it's like commissary stuff,
Ramen
right?
noodles.
Like, right. It's
Bags of
deodorant
chips,
and things like that. But you know, she sends me this and I just can't help but like, I know this sounds horrible, but like, how hard is it to be the Secret Santa in your roommates, like in prison?
Ooh.
Like, who could it be? Like
that 1 hour a day when I'm out of my cell.
And then you come back and you're looking at the guy sitting next to you and he's like giggling in the corner. He's like, I don't know what.
Somebody slits up the bar or something.
There's a gift under your pillow. What is it? Like, I'm just picturing the process of what does that look like? Like, how are you the Secret Santa? And why is it a secret?
Especially if you've been doing it for 7 years, like they know.
It's Eric. It's Eric again.
Eric, nobody else has all this stuff. And then, I don't know.
And I'm like, that's really sweet.
It
but
is
like,
sweet.
it's,
A little pick me up for prison,
and it's just, there's just little things like that. Like, I'm like, I need to find another one. I'm looking through.
How do we contribute to the Secret Santa Fund?
I know. Like, and again, she just loves it. So,
How does she feel about them potentially getting out?
well, so, and my husband's very like, they killed their parents and all this stuff. Like, what are you,
They
why are you
did.
watching this and all, right? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I think they should be released.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, why? And she's like, well, and he's like, if you want to have legal background on any of this, you better have facts and reasons. Well, homegirl did some research and came back and said, okay, there were trials that were, should probably have been like mistrials, I would say. And they got retried. They have served their time. They reached this level. She compared them to other cases that have been released, their age, their denials, their all this different stuff. She had different little factoids and all that stuff, and it's, I see both sides of it, right?
I don't think they're a danger to society. It wasn't like they were running around just committing crimes and kill people that way.
Right.
And if Gypsy Rose Blanchard can get out, like, what's the difference?
That was another kind of one of her points was this, this is not the first time that murderers, will have been set free.
There's a Manson person who got parole.
Right.
I'm more afraid of them
right.
than I am of the Menendez brothers.
Than Menendez brothers who were suffering from these
abuse
things that have been proven facts now. And a lot more stuff's come out now, especially since things like the Menudo.
Oh yeah.
Where they, in the last probably 10 years or so have come out and given testimony, if you will, about having been sexually abused by Eric's father and all that stuff during that same time period. And so kind of backing up stories and whatnot. So anyway, I feel like there's a lot more factors to not just the killing. Was it sick and twisted? Absolutely.
It was horrific the way they did it and the way they lied about it, but
horrible.
Yeah.
But were they, suffering mentally? Yes.
Yeah.
I do believe they were mentally ill at that point.
Sure.
Of what they had been going through. And I can't begin to imagine what that was like. So I can't put myself in that situation.
Listen, Kim Kardashian is on it. We're going to get results.
She has been visiting. She is there. She knows. She's friends.
And she's got the OJ connection.
True. And also, I just found the other fact that Charlotte has sent me. Eric Menendez's favorite movie, Zootopia.
Stop. What?
If this guy is...
It's a good movie.
He's playing for America's little sweetheart,
Whether I believe that or not, it is a good movie, but...
I just picture, this guy, both... I'm baffled by all of it. But really, the Menendez brothers, they're married, They're both married.
Yeah, I do.
And so they're both married. They but I really, you know how you hear about people that like go into prison when they're really young and then they get released as grown adults, but yet they've never obviously been in society. They've never had cell phones. They've never had, internet, cable TV. I mean, they've had internet in prison or whatever, but like they've not been in society to have these normal day-to-day functions that we have. So they come out and they're still very childlike.
Yeah. But it kind of makes sense though.
Eric, yeah, sure. Eric, to me, they've always kind of played him up. And obviously I don't know. He was
younger, yeah.
Right, because he was the younger one. He was the one that was, from what we understand, managing multiple kinds of abuse,
and he never got out of the house. His brother
Exactly.
at least got away for a while.
At least went to college for a while. Right. This one was still living at home and whatnot. Anyway, I just, hearing things like his favorite movie is Zootopia and he plays Secret Santa and he goes trick-or-treating throughout prison. Like those things.
Is he kidding?
I mean,
Zootopia kind of makes sense though, because, and I might be making this up, but I thought I'd heard it somewhere before. Like, he's been in prison a long time, and I think they only show certain types of movies in prison because they don't want to like encourage like sexual behavior and
rioting type stuff.
So, yeah. So that like it makes sense that they're watching these cartoons.
Like they're not watching Shawshank.
Right? They're not watching like anything about how to get out of prison or Prison Break. So yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. They're probably watching Disney movies.
Right. Yeah. But I mean,
him trick or treating. I'm sure people are like, "Here comes Eric again with his bag, this pillowcase."
Somebody give Eric a toothbrush.
I got an extra I got extra soap over there. I'm gonna throw that in there.
Like, I mean, he's adorable. Like it's just. I know a lot of the stuff came out, that was dramatized, and obviously it was on Netflix. Like, come on, they didn't say it was a documentary. They said this is a series. Monsters is a series about them. They never claimed to be a documentary. But
although
then
they did a wonderful job of that house. When I watched the documentary and I watched it after the movie.
Same.
I was amazed at how accurate that house was.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Like it's exact.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
I mean, there was enough to hook you in and make you fall in some rabbit holes online. That's for sure. I definitely learned a lot more and wanted to know more. And, word on the street was that they were really upset about the documentary.
Yeah, about the movie.
Or not about
series.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that because they didn't think it was true and stuff. But I mean,
the house was.
Let's be honest. It gave them lots of attention and credit and brought their name back into light. And now, that judge has come forth saying that they should be resentenced. And so that could be happening soon. I don't know.
Yeah. Stay
tuned. We'll see.
We'll see. Charlotte might get to watch an interview with them live.
I know. Yeah. It's crazy. She loves that stuff. She loves that true crime type of thing.
Same.
She's taken a law and justice class, and then her English.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. It's law and justice for the first semester, and then it's psychology for the second semester. And then she's also taking her English class this year. Her senior English class, she chose crime lit. So crime literature. And they're reading In Cold Blood.
I was about to say that. Do they read like In Cold Blood and Helter Skelter and things like that?
They're reading In Cold Blood now.
That is terrifying.
Right? Like we had to sign permission slips and stuff, man.
She's not gonna be able to sleep. Like I still I watched that movie like, oh my gosh.
She comes home. And I mean, I never thought I'd be having these conversations with my daughter one day, but like she's reading In Cold Blood, they're watching the movie along, like they read a bit of it and then they watch the movie bit of it, so forth, so on. And then my 8th grader is currently reading The Outsiders in school.
That's good.
And they're reading a bit and then they'll
Watch the movie.
watch a bit of it in the movie. And they do that. And so I've got one kid talking to me about Truman Capote and murders and all this. And then the other one's like crying because Pony Boy just said, I'm having a really weird balance.
It's okay. Pony Boy.
I'm like, I love The Outsiders.
I love The Outsiders.
It was one of my favorite books. And then, I mean, how can you not love the movie? Like with all those boys in
everybody in it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's, she came home the other day talking about they were in a fire. And then whenever he was laying on the bed, he's all burned up and Cherry came by to see it. He read this poem and I started saying the poem and she was just amazed. I was like, I had to memorize that poem and I've never forgotten it, but it's just pretty cool time to like have kids, I guess. That, as weird as it is, it's cool stuff. So yeah, but yeah, so I watched some Menendez stuff. I too have watched Dancing with the Stars. Are you a regular watcher?
Yeah.
You've watched it over the years. I mean,
there may have been a couple seasons where I got a little bored, but the last 2 seasons have been good.
Yes. Obviously, if somebody's listening and they don't want to know spoilers, then sorry, turn your radio down. But are you caught up on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you pulling for that is still left?
Oh, I like them all, to be honest with you. I love Chandler and Brandon.
Yeah.
I love Alana and Alan. I mean, I honestly, I don't care who. They're all so good. I do think, Chandler and Brandon may be the best talent-wise.
I think talent-wise.
But, fan base-wise, I love Alana.
I do too.
I can't remember the gymnast's name that's dancing with Riley, but
Steven,
yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. He's good too. I think it's just getting to that time where no matter who goes home, you're like, oh, but
yeah. I was very sad to see Dwight Howard go home.
Yeah, they were good.
I was so surprised by him throughout the season. And Daniela does such a good job anytime she's with a partner.
A great choreographer.
She's always done a good job, but she did a great job being able to pull out height difference off and stuff with him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a good season. Speaking of crime stuff, having Anna Delvey on there.
Okay, I was glad she was gone quickly.
Agreed. She made quite the splash after she got eliminated, by when they asked her what she was going to take away from the season. She said nothing. And that was it. And now her partner had that tattooed on his arm or whatever. I was like, okay, let's not give her more attention than we need. But she was awkward and uncomfortable, and some manager out there told her she had to do it. That's all there was to that. I like Joey and Jenna. I think they're really good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
Whitney's always one of my favorite professionals. Mm-hmm. So of course Danny with her, they're good, But yeah, and I think Chandler, I agree, she's the best one technically, mm-hmm. But Ilana, I would love for her to win just in general. I mean, I'd like all of them, but I would love for her to win just because of what she stands for.
Yeah.
I mean, I
feel
think
it's probably always been this way, but like I've been following most of them on TikTok, and this year they have like the eliminated people who like have their own little series going on TikTok.
Yes.
And I don't know if they did this before, but I feel like Alana has brought a lot of that out of people. Like her and Alan were doing it, and she goes around to other people and gets them involved in TikToks. So it's really like picked up, and
I feel like it's picked up a lot this year.
Yeah. With Jen and Sasha, like I'm following their whole saga. Like, are they together? Aren't they together? Like, why are you still hanging out at his house if you've been eliminated? Like,
well, and there was some stuff earlier with Brooks, Nader, and Gleb.
Oh, and Gleb, yeah.
You know, but they've broken up apparently.
I guess.
But yeah, this I think that this season has definitely had a bigger presence on social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree, you know, Lana has to have had an influence on that because she has made such a splash online with her stuff. But I've loved watching their content.
It's hilarious.
And the judges have gotten into it as well. And so I think it's probably good for the show, obviously. I've grown to like Julianne hosting more than I started out.
She's better this year.
Yeah.
Like not as like inserting herself into it as much. I wonder if somebody talked to her like, hey.
Yeah. Slow your roll or you're going to end up like Tyra.
Well, they've been putting her in some dances too. So maybe she's getting her fill from that.
And that I like.
Yeah.
I actually like that. Like, I'm like, don't try to hide the fact that she was on the show for a while. Like, you know, I mean, we all know that she's a very talented dancer. Like, put her in there. And I love it when they put her or Derek and even Alfonso. Like, you know, put them in it. I think that's great. But I think she likes that too. And so I think that's fun.
Yeah. I want them to bring Mark Ballas back full time.
Oh,
I love him.
I love Mark Ballas. He's
like my favorite.
Always been one of my favorites. Always. And he is, you know, he was there obviously as a guest judge a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
But now we've also seen him come back in to like pop into people's rehearsals.
Mm-hmm. Like Lynn used to do. Yeah.
Yes. And I love that. So I'm wondering, do you think they're kind of trying to work him in a little bit because maybe he might be coming back full time?
I would love it. I think they're trying to gauge reaction. I think it's been good. People have not been so nice to Carrie Ann this year. I mean, it's that every year. Carrie Ann is always like, I think people have really started to like say stuff about it when I think it was last week. Again, this is a spoiler. When Chandler and Brandon did their dance and they got all 10s, but she gave them a 9 because she told her your standard is higher than everybody else's or something like that. And she was like, I mean, I'm not a professional. Like,
right. Yeah. Carrie Ann's always done that. And I mean, I'm not a huge fan of her. But
they'll keep her though, because they're not going to have an all-male judging table. They'll just add Mark to it.
Never going to get rid of her.
Just add Mark to the table.
Yeah. I would love him to be a part of it. When he came back and actually danced and stuff, oh, gosh, I love him.
I used to love when he, Mark, and Julianne would dance together, like, as a routine.
So great.
It was always so, like, the talent level was just through the roof. The choreography was just insane. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I've enjoyed the season. I think it's really good. And I'm curious to, I feel like they even stepped it up a little bit this year with some of the, there were a few years where it was like, are we really calling these people stars?
Well, there's a couple this year. Like, I didn't know who Brooks Nader was before this. I'm like,
yeah,
I had never heard of her.
Yeah, I had heard of her, but I was like, well, of course they're going to put a model on here or whatever, like I feel like they have one in there or something, but I feel like maybe they're stepping up their game. And I think that the social media stuff might even be helping, but I mean, and I know that he was not good But Eric Roberts,
Oh, he
I
was
mean,
fun.
he's an Oscar winner. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, those are things like those little bits do help.
I love that they were going. The cast was going back, showing like his old pictures of him back when he was in his 20s, and they're like, "Look at Mr. Robert."
Yeah, yeah. And then Reginald Bell Johnson was on
Oh
there.
yeah.
And, you know, when they referred to him back when he was on Lethal,
Family Matters.
yeah, but he was.
Oh, the
what was
movie. Was it Lethal
Um,
Weapon? I don't remember.
whatever
Beverly
he had
Hills
the
Cop? No,
the
he wasn't in that.
catchphrase from, and you know, and he was, but he like even did a dance and like in his little sketch beforehand, you know, he was saying that phrase and all that stuff. Anyway, so it's
Yeah.
they've played into the fact that we have some people that have been in big movies and big shows and things like that too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to have them pull on. Now, Tori Spelling was on this
I
season.
forgot she was on that season. Yeah,
And
she was on that
you
season.
forget, right?
I
Because
forgot,
she was
yeah.
forgettable, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. But I expected her to, I thought maybe last longer, but she was just not good. Like you couldn't
Yeah.
keep her.
No, there was no way. That was painful.
Yeah, it was really bad. She's like an awkward human being in normal things,
Yeah.
but for her to try to dance at the same time, it was really bad.
You know what's funny is like the first of the season, I had forgotten like today that she'd been on it. But when the show first started, I remember thinking like, hasn't she been on here before? But she hasn't. So
No,
I was like,
I was the same way. And let's see, you know who else is doing a lot of social media stuff? Speaking of Tori Spelling, it's Brian Austin Green,
oh, with
who's married to Sharna. Yes.
Yeah.
And they just had the 500th episode of Dancing with the Stars this past week. And they brought Sharna back in the dance. Did you see that?
I did.
And then she was in the audience and stuff. Why was she like the only one that came back in the dance?
I don't know. Unless they're going to bring her back. I have no idea.
It was kind of strange. I expected
Well, weren't they doing like old routines from the past seasons?
Mhm.
So maybe it was just because she was in some of the ones that were really memorable. But yeah, it didn't make really, I mean, maybe they needed another female. Emma's hurt. So maybe.
Yeah. Well, I saw online on social media, Max.
I love
love
he and his wife.
They're fantastic. They're fantastic.
Their Halloween was the best.
Their videos about like being married to like daily life of husband-wife stuff. So funny.
It's hilarious. I never knew they were so funny.
Me neither. And they had a video where they said they were getting ready to go to the show and they did like an outfit view or whatever. And then, but I never saw them on the show. And I was like, why weren't they dancing?
Yeah, I need them dancing again.
I love them. She's phenomenal dancer too. Like her.
Yeah.
I've always liked her. So yeah, it's a little guilty pleasure too, but I can't help but follow along and watch it, even on some of the people that I didn't know. Like I didn't know who Chandler was before this. But
of course my daughter did, but
mine too. Yeah.
I like some of the new dancers too. Ezra's good. I like him.
Yep. And then I recognized Roman right away because he was on So You Think You Can Dance.
Okay, I've missed a couple of years of that. So
yeah,
a lot of them were on So You Think You Can Dance. A lot of them. Jenna,
yes.
Ezra, his sister,
Lindsay.
Alan, Lindsay. Yeah.
Yep.
Was Whitney. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Roman was on this most recent season. And it was that first one that Max and Twitch's wife, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other lady, I can't remember who did it. The three, those were the new judges.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a horrible way that they formatted the show now. They don't have
I don't like it.
they don't have like the live audience factor and stuff as much anymore, and different things throughout the week. I don't like it at all, but Roman was on that season. So it was just last season that he was on So You Think You Can Dance, and I bet you Max brought him over because he was one of the only ballroom dancers. He's Ukrainian. And Max recognized him obviously during the auditions and stuff for So You Think You Can Dance. And then now he shows up on Dance with the Stars.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, I saw him. I was like, oh, well, he's found his calling now. It was good.
We'll see you next season.
Yep. Work your way on up there, buddy, to a prime spot. Yeah. Good. Well, as always, we'll see what ends up with those people. They always show off some good stuff. Did you like the little 5-minute dance thing they had to do the other night?
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Yeah. I'm enjoying this season.
I like that they did something a little different. I get a little tired sometimes of the we're going to do a group dance and then you get a score and it's like, oh, you either get a 9 or a 10 and what do you know? Like somebody's always, it always seems a little pegged for me, but this 5-minute routine thing was kind of cool. Like where they didn't really know what they were doing at all. It was cool to see them practicing with a cell phone, like listening to the music and stuff. So yeah, I liked it. But I liked how Alfonso was like, I am glad you guys didn't figure this twist out during my season.
This is not what I would have wanted to do.
Yeah. But so that was kind of cool. It was neat. Okay, moving on. Most important topic usually of our year that we do discuss. It is time this week. The People's Sexiest Man Alive was announced, and it was John Krasinski. Thoughts?
Yes.
Right away, go.
Listen, I'm not mad at it. It's not a bad choice. I'm just always amazed at like how, because where has John Krasinski been? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not a name that I've just been hearing a lot of lately. Mm-hmm. So how did they pull that one out of their hat? Like, what is the criteria for Sexiest Man Alive?
Well, I can tell you what it was this year.
Okay.
I can tell you what it was this year. It was the first 2 people said no.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be on the cover if I'm third choice.
Dude, I know.
Who said no?
Glenn Powell.
Oh, okay.
And Pedro Pascal.
Oh, I would have loved it to be him.
Mm-hmm. They both said no. John Krasinski
Just like, yes.
Said hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. I don't care about being third. Top 3 is not bad.
I mean, okay. Yeah. I think, there are, based on my research, there's a handful of men that refuse to be given this title.
Is it like, use a sports analogy here, like being on the cover of Madden, where it's like you're on the cover of Madden and then you have this horrible season or you get this injury? Is that what it is? Like you're just kind of grouped into...
No, from what I understand, and again, they haven't told me personally.
Why not?
Yet. But from what I've read and what I heard, was that some actors tend to consider People magazine and this title more of like a joke. It's a it's a little cheesy for their take, if you will.
But we love it.
It's
our Sports Illustrated.
Right. So there's somebody like a Glenn Powell who is still relatively new when it comes to the mark he's made. He may have been acting for a while, but the mark he's making is still very new, right? Mm-hmm. And same with Pedro Pascal, And the sources, quote, sources say that, you know, for example, with Glenn Powell, he wants to win an Oscar one day. He wants to be taken seriously, and that he's already, you know, having to fight for some roles that have a little more serious nature to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that he doesn't just want to be like focused on as this, you know, People magazine, name me this, you know.
Mm.
And I would have to assume maybe that's what Pedro Pascal is too. But you know who else is famously always turned it down?
Who?
Ryan Gosling.
Why? Oh, for the same reasons, I guess.
I
I'd
guess.
love to see him on there. That last year for Barbie would have
made sense, right?
made sense, yeah.
Yep. Jason Momoa.
He turned it down?
That's what they say. Like, I mean, none of these guys have come out and said, but I turned it down, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what everybody is kind of noting, is that like Ryan Gosling, of like, I think there's been a handful of years he could have nabbed it.
Yeah.
Right. Like over the last, 15 years, there's been several years that he probably could have been the guy.
Is it always an actor?
No.
Okay. Was it Tom Brady one year? Did he get it? No. I may be wrong about that.
I don't know. But that's funny you ask, because I do have some facts for you. The first one ever given the title. Do you know who it was?
What year was the first one?
85.
85. Was it someone like a Tom Selleck or?
I mean, it is a movie star.
Okay.
We actually referenced a movie of his a little earlier.
Not Tom Cruise.
No.
That's a little too young, huh? No, it wouldn't have been too young. Would he have been too young then? I mean, what did we talk about? Outsiders? Like, is he in the Outsiders?
No, we it is VA
Zootopia. Is it the lion from Zootopia?
It's Mel Gibson.
Oh, Lethal Weapon. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So 85. Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense.
So he was the first one. In 1993, they didn't have it as just a man. They did it as the sexiest couple. Any guesses who that was?
In 93.
Mm-hmm.
Sexiest couple. Would it have been Tom Cruise and Kim Nicole Kidman? No. I'm just going to keep going to Tom Cruise.
I know, right? He's bound to pop up.
Tom Cruise.
This guy, is probably like, I mean, I think he's won the title several times, maybe, or probably, but, I think it was more, he's the actor, and then she has another job. She's a model. They are not together anymore.
It's not Christy Brinkley and Billy Joel.
No, but you're on the right track. But he's the actor.
Oh, he's an actor. Jeez. I don't know.
Rom-coms.
I have not Tom Cruise, but
not Tom Cruise.
What's the other Tom? Who's married to Rita?
Not Tom Hanks.
Not Tom.
It's Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford.
Oh, I keep forgetting about them because she's been married to Randy Gerber for so long.
That's right. Only 3 men that have won the title have passed away thus far.
Sean Connery.
Yep.
Jeez. I don't know. Can't think of Besides Sean Connery.
Sean Connery's right. Patrick Swayze.
Oh, I always forget about Patrick Swayze.
How dare you?
I know. I just choose to. I don't like to remember that he's no longer with us.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Choose not to believe it. And JFK Jr.
Oh yeah, I remember when he was on there.
I do too. So see, there's a non-actor.
Yeah.
Let's see here. 4 men have received the honor twice.
Tom Cruise.
No.
Well, I'm going to say Richard Gere because you've already said that he was on it more than once.
And that's one of them. Okay.
More than once. Was last year it was Dr. McDreamy. He's been on it more than once, hasn't he?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
And it's not Tom Cruise.
'Tis not.
Tom Selleck.
Nope. No Toms on this portion.
Okay.
There's 4 of them. So Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Someone in the most within the last 5 years was on it twice, right? Maybe not.
Let's think. I know you're a fan of these.
Oh.
I know you'd be a fan of these. So one seems to be so obvious, Jeanette. Who's like the not Tom of a name you always say, like who or anybody would say, like handsome man, all of these are actors too.
I mean, Idris Elba, but I don't think he's on there more than once.
He's kind of too new to the game.
Okay.
All of these guys have been around so long. So one of them,
Rob Lowe,
started on like ER and
what is it? Clooney, George Clooney.
Correct.
Love George Clooney.
Right.
He's one of my faves. It's not Rob Lowe.
Nope. But what about Thelma and Louise?
Brad Pitt.
Correct.
Another one of my faves.
And then what about Edward Scissorhands?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's Brad Pitt.
He wasn't running in recent years though. I'm gonna say 80s,
Only
90s
his
Johnny
trial.
Depp, right?
Only his trial.
Okay. Which was very entertaining.
See, I'm saying we discussed it. We talked at length about it, right? So we've got Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, George Clooney, and Richard Gere. Not too shabby.
Has Tom Cruise ever been on it?
I mean, or
is he one of those who says no? I can see Tom saying no.
There's only been 5 people who were not actors.
Okay.
To have won the title.
Are any musicians on there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you can do
Lenny
this.
Kravitz.
Nope.
How dare they?
I know. But you can do this because you already know one of them. We already said him.
Billy Joel?
No.
Tom Brady.
Was a winner.
Not Tom Brady. I'm going to name all the Toms. So.
The one who passed away.
Oh, who did I say passed away?
JFK Jr.
Oh, JFK Jr. Yeah. I was like,
okay, so he's not an actor.
He's not.
Okay. The other ones. 1, 2, 3 of them are singers. 2 of them I agree with. 1 I do not.
Oh boy. Are they like our age singers? Or are they young? Like Justin Timberlake has probably been on there.
It's not him. Start with The Voice.
Blake Shelton? Adam
There's
Levine.
1.
Adam
There's
Levine.
2. And
there's another one on The Voice. John Legend?
That's 3.
Okay.
That's the 3 singers plus JFK Jr.,
Okay.
and there's one remaining non-actor, and he's in your sports world, not mine.
Ronaldo?
No.
Messi?
Think more our age, of Spice Girl fame.
Oh, Beckham.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Right. So there's the only 5 people that have not been actors.
Okay.
Yeah. 13 winners have played superheroes.
You got the Chris Pines on there and all those like
It's the Hugh
the
Jackman,
Avengers. It's the
Yes,
Avengers
all
and
the
the Marvel
Avengers.
people.
all the Avengers, all the Batmans.
Yeah. All the Batmans. That yes.
There's also been 15 actors that play doctors. Clooney, Denzel, Dempsey, they're all in line. Yeah.
I get on board with that. Yeah.
The youngest ever winner, again, JFK Jr.
Oh.
And he was 27 when he won in 1988.
Okay.
Yep. The oldest was Sean Connery, and he was 59 in 1989.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I guess it's not wrong that he's always seemed old to me because that would make sense.
I know. And then, okay, so this is interesting. So in 1994, that was the only year that they didn't do Sexiest Man Alive.
Is that because of the war?
Maybe. I'm not really sure. It doesn't say. It says, but in 2015, to commemorate the 30th anniversary of People magazine, they went back and retroactively named a 1994 winner. Do you know who that would have been?
In 94?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's freshman year of college for me. Who was big then? Geez, there's so many. That wouldn't have been like, no, they're too young. I was going to say like Ben Affleck or Matt Damon, but they were way too young in 94.
Right. But I like where you're going. I'm trying to think like this guy had relevance in the like late 80s and into the 90s.
An actor?
An actor. Can play really, really dumb. Or can play really, really smoldering.
What? I don't know. Who is this person? Jim Carrey.
No, but he's been on some crazy adventures.
Oh, Keanu?
Yes.
Oh, Keanu. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of him for 94. I would have thought of him for more like now.
But I think that was like Speed era, right?
Oh, when yeah. But I think of him smoldering now. Like back then, it was just kind of like that young, brooding type of like.
Yeah.
Now you look at him and you're like,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. No, exactly. Agreed. He always kind of had weird haircuts to me. Like I always felt like that made him unattractive.
Yeah.
Well, so we'll do a quick recap before we finish out the show, because we usually do the readers polls, which is where, the readers are writing in on some of the weird topics, like that are just sort of the additional people, not the standard one guy, right? Not the third place John Krasinski. But the readers polls for this year, I'm just going to see if you can guess who the winner was. Sexiest Handyman.
Who's a handyman?
Yeah, on TV.
Yeah, but I mean, would it be? Oh gosh, I don't know. That girl from Teen Mom's Husband, Chip Gaines. No, not. I know. Is it Chip Gaines?
Yep.
Okay, that's not the Teen Mom husband. That's just another name that came to my mind. Okay,
but nope, you were right with Chip. The sexiest long married star.
Kurt Russell. Although they're not really married.
No, but I would have voted for that. But I love their choices in this category.
And how long are we? Like long married?
More than 25 years.
Is Tom Hanks on there?
No.
Okay.
So your choices are Ted Danson, Kevin Bacon, Denzel Washington, and Tim McGraw.
Oh, I could go with any of those. Denzel.
Same.
Is it Tim McGraw?
It is.
Okay.
So this one they call the Gen Sexiest, like with the big X.
Hey.
So the ultimate 90s hottie, it says the categories are, or the category nominees are Benjamin Bratt, Matt Dillon, Ethan Hawke, and Shamar Moore.
You know Benjamin Bratt is always going to be my number one.
I know.
You know this.
I know, yes. And I love Matt Dillon and Ethan Hawke. I love that. But the winner was Shamar Moore. Okay. I can still get behind.
I can still get behind Shamar. It's just Benjamin has just maintained number one, and he's just not fallen. So.
I know. It's that smile. Sexiest summer action star.
Summer action. This is very specific.
Yeah. Your nominees are Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, Hugh Jackman, and Glenn Powell.
Ryan Gosling.
No, it's Glenn Powell, whether he wanted it or not.
I'm not going to give him anything if he turned it down.
It's a reader's poll, so yeah, okay. They don't care. Now this one, I'm not a fan of. This one is sexiest talk show host.
That's a man?
It's either Seth Meyers, Mario Lopez, Mark Consuelos, or Jimmy Fallon.
Mark Consuelos, obviously, right?
That's who won, but he gives me the willies.
What?
I'm going to be honest. Yeah.
Stop it. See, I've been a Mateo fan since all my children. It's just...
Nope, I can't do it.
Come on.
Nope.
Okay, we're going to have to agree to disagree.
He's got secrets, and I know it. I don't like it.
No secrets. Open book.
Yes, he's got secrets.
No.
Him and Kelly both.
No. They are America's sweetheart couple. They have zero secrets. They are an open book.
Nope, I don't think so. I'm a Fallon fan. Sexiest tattooed.
Jason Momoa.
No, and he doesn't want it. Bad Bunny, Neymar Jr., Post Malone, or Jeremy Allen White?
Jeremy Allen White.
Hundo P. 100%.
Like, was it even a competition?
Yes,
from that list? I mean, you might as well just said he's the only one on the list. So
I know. All right, and this one was the new heartthrob. And I don't even know all these people. They're that new. This is either Nicholas Galadzine, which is, I don't really know who he is, Gavin Castellagno, and Manny Jacinto, and Jacob Elordi.
I know Jacob Elordi, so that's the only one I'll say because I don't know who anybody else is.
One of them is from The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched that.
Curly hair. And another one is from Jenny and Georgia. Georgia and Jenny.
Oh.
Jenny that plays Jenny's boyfriend.
Jenny's boyfriend? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the other's Jacob Elordi. And then the fourth one, I don't even know who he is. I never even seen his face. But anyway, Jacob Elordi won. So
Just nobody else knew who those other people were.
yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah. Sexiest musician.
Lenny Kravitz.
Please. No, this is horrible. Who are these people? Harry Styles,
Okay.
Zach Bryan,
Okay.
Shabuzi.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
He sings that, oh gosh. It's a country song, but it's about a bar and
Oh, shocker. Really?
no, but I mean,
About a bar?
how's it go? You would no, that's Morgan Wallen.
No, I was about to say that is not it. I do know that
That's
one.
right.
Well, and the fourth person is role model,
Who's role model? Is that a person?
apparently, because he thanked his fans. I mean, it doesn't matter. The winner is Harry Styles.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be Harry Styles.
Um,
You would know Shabuzi. Look up Shabuzi after this. You know the song. You've heard
Did
the
you
song.
hear-
It's only one
you hear all
song.
that? Do you hear all that business about Zach Bryan?
Yeah,
Yeah, he in trouble.
he's in big trouble.
Yeah, people don't like him. People are selling his tickets for cheap right now. You can go see Zach Bryan all you want to right
By
now.
myself.
Yeah.
You can sing to me.
Anybody who wants to go see him can pretty much do it right now.
Get somebody a birthday gift to say, I rented this out just for you. It's a performance just for it's exclusive. And then you get there and be like, ew. I
Yeah,
don't want to be here.
everybody's like, never mind. Yeah. And then okay, last one's the sexiest first time dad.
Oh, who's the first time dad?
Robert Pattinson,
Okay.
Justin Bieber, Cole Tucker, and Maluma.
Maluma.
Who's that?
Oh, he was in that movie with J-Lo. He's a Hispanic singer.
Oh, the
Marry Me movie.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, him.
Who's the first person you named?
Robert Pattinson.
I'll go with Robert Pattinson.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they also had sexiest podcast host.
Was it us?
It was Moose. No. It was the Kelsey brothers won it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're on a Kelsey high these days.
Yes. Josh Peck was nominated. TJ Holmes nominated, which
Oh, is he podcasting now? Okay.
humorous. Yeah. And his podcast is called Amy and TJ.
Nice. Okay.
Fabulous. Josh Peck is on The Good Guys, which if you haven't listened to that, it's freaking hilarious. I think it's so funny. And Penn Badgley.
Oh, I love Penn Badgley.
I love Penn. And he's got a podcast apparently called Pod Crushed. Who knew? But yeah, the Kelsey brothers have New Heights, which is obviously really funny too. And it's really
Yeah.
good. So good for them. Bravo. We'll wait for the female edition to come out where we can be recognized. Yeah. So that's all I got for you.
That's fun.
Yeah. Always a good time when this comes out, beginning of the holiday season. It's like a nice little package in a bow.
Sexiest Man Alive.
I
Starting
love
the
it.
new-
Yeah. Well, Jeanette, it's time to get holiday shopping, time to get your stuff done, go review your spreadsheet, see what you got to do. When do you head out on your trips? Soon?
Second week of December for the first one. So
Okay.
got a
All
little
right.
bit of time, not much, but
Not
maybe
much.
we'll get some things done in between now and then.
Almost time for American Thanksgiving. We've got some Canadian friends that listen here, and I know they will not be celebrating the same holiday with us, but yeah, big, Thanksgiving holidays coming up in a couple weeks. So
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy your time on the Thanksgiving break and get to
Thank
relax
you,
a little bit.
too.
Thanks. And then let's plan to chat again
Yes.
at the 1st of December.
Yes, let's do it. I can tell you all about my St. Louis trip.
St. Louis trip, and then we can hear more about your shopping adventures, see where you stand on the spreadsheet, and see if there's any update on the Menendez release. We can see if John Krasinski has come out and said that, he's sad about being number 3. And I can do a little more research and find out if Tom Cruise has ever won anything.
He has to have won something.
I don't know why he wasn't listed on anything. Let me just see. I'm just going to type it in real quick. Sexiest Man Alive, ? He was in 1990.
I knew it.
Yep.
Way to come through, Tom Cruise.
One timer though. One timer.
He probably got it and was like, everyone was like, don't do it. And he's like, okay, I won't do it anymore.
People's Choice in 1990. So, I mean, if he wants to regain some fame, he might just need to step it up a little bit. Oh, well. So congrats to John. I'm fine with John Krasinski.
I'm okay with John Krasinski. It's fine.
He's handsome. He's fine. It's whatever, and he's part of a power couple, which I do think people love.
Yes. Him and Emily Blunt. Yeah.
I'm not was it Jack Reacher or no?
Yeah. Something like that. Reacher or whatever.
Yeah. I haven't watched that. And I also, I know he's done a lot with this whole Quiet Place stuff or whatever, but I'm not into it. So I'll take people's word for it. See, I mean, maybe that makes it just as appealing.
Maybe. You know who's going to be it next year, and we'll have to talk about this next time. It's a little teaser for the end.
Oh.
Josh Jackson. He's got to come through for this.
Are you watching Odyssey?
I haven't. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But Joshua Jackson, oh my goodness, the crush I've had on Pacey has just grown into adulthood.
Like a fine wine, my friend.
I like it when they age well.
I do too.
He's Clooney-esque.
It is working for sure.
Yes.
The show, weird and not that great.
That's why I watched the first episode. I was kind of I'll get back. I'll come back to this.
But do I watch it? Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. Don Johnson's on it with him. I watch it. Yeah. I tape it, but I watch it.
It still counts.
All right. We could start the campaign if you want.
Let's do it. Maybe he'll recognize us.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I'm behind it. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have some nominations for next year that start with Josh and end with Jackson, feel free to reach out and we'll get the pledge campaign started. Thanks for listening here on the Mesh Network. You can listen to all the other shows that the network has to offer. There's something for everybody over on TheMESH.tv. Find us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and goodness, just reach out if you have anything you want to say or give us ideas about, or tell us you really enjoyed the episode. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you Americans have a good Thanksgiving. Everyone else, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at TheMESH.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.